What's going on, everybody? Cigar Show Tim here of Tobacco Talk Media with another edition of Tobacco Talk, where I review a cigar and then I give you my thoughts on it in 4 key areas: flavor, draw, construction, and burn. It's everything you want to know about that cigar, but it's from my palate's perspective, and then I rate it as to whether I think it's noteworthy or not. So I am beginning the reviews on the PCA cigars and releases and all of that, and I'm starting with a cigar that I absolutely love, and I'm hoping it's the case with this specific vitola. My favorite vitola in this cigar is the Mareva, which came out a few years ago, but let's see how the Topez is in this year's release of the Mil Dias in the Topez Vitola. It is a 4 7/8 by 56 with, yes, a pigtail cap on it. You see that correctly. So if we're going to review it, there's only one thing left to do. Let's light it up. All right, I went with a straight cut on it, as you can see right there. Full draw notes, raisins, raisin bran, and a little bit of sweet fruitiness. So let's toast her up. Okay, upon initial light up, I'm getting flavor notes of a lot of cedar wood, some light leather, some light nuttiness, and a little bit of earthiness is in there as well. So I'm going to jump into the first third. When I come back, I'll let you know the blend of the cigar, any flavor notes that I am picking up, and well, we'll go from there. All right, let me show you the burn here at the end of the first third. Got a little bit of a wave to it. You can see the wrapper is just a little cracked there. But overall, the burn is doing quite well. Even has a little mascara line to it. Okay, let's talk about the blend on this cigar. It features an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. It features a Nicaraguan binder, and then fillers are from Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Peru. So pretty diverse. Flavor notes that I'm picking up in the first third. That cedar wood is absolutely still there. That hint of nuttiness has come up just a little bit, and there's a really nice leather note that finishes out on the long finish. The earthiness is pretty much gone, really doesn't exist at all. Retrohale is very smooth, and you get a really nice long finish of that nuttiness that's in there when you do the retrohale, and on that long finish, very, very good. So I had a chance to sit down with John Huber at PCA and brought up this cigar specifically when I asked about a conversation that he and Miguel Shadell had, and talking about wanting to release the newest vitola and all those different things. And Topez was one that Miguel was like, okay, we gotta release this specific vitola, and John was already working on it, so they were already on the same wavelength. And so far, I am enjoying it. Whether or not I enjoy it more than the Mareva, which is my favorite vitola, time will tell on that one. I'm not so sure. But I'm going to jump into the second third. When I come back, I'll let you know about any transitions in the flavor profile of the cigar and anything else I think you might need to know. And maybe I'll tell you what Topez really means. All right, let me show you the burn here at the end of the second third. Cigar is doing quite well. You can see I'm right there down to the band. Doing well, just a little bit of a wave to it, and that little split that was in the wrapper burned through it. No other problems at all. So this cigar actually is the cigar in the travel case follow-up that I did, the TISFA travel case. And this is the cigar that was on the far left in that case that I tested the humidity after it came back. If you want to learn more about that case and all of that, click right up here and you'll get to watch that video after this. So, flavor profile in the second third. Did it change? It did, and boy did it get good. So that nuttiness is still there. The cedar wood has really turned into much more of a floral note. But on the retrohale, you get a delicious, delicious creamy note that's in there. So you've got some creaminess, some nuttiness. You've got a little bit of floral note that's in there. And I typically don't pick up a whole lot of floral, but it's pretty obvious, at least for my palate, that there's a very distinct floral note in this. And it's really, really good. So strength on this so far, I would say that this is barely touching into a medium. It is not a strong cigar whatsoever. Who knows if it's going to ramp up more in the final third, but we'll find out when we get there. And Topez. So you can Google translate Topez and it'll tell you a bunch of different things, from bumper to covering to all sorts of different names for the words. But Topez in Cuban cigars was actually, or is, a vitola, the name of a cigar from Trinidad, a Cuban cigar brand. And it was made very popular, this specific vitola, by Trinidad when they put out cigars, and they called them the Trinidad Topes. And so Topes is a very traditional Cuban vitola, again 4 7/8 by 56. That's the size of this one. You've already learned the blend, you've already learned everything else about it, but in the second third, this has been an absolutely delicious cigar. Let's see what it's like as I finish up the cigar. When I come back, I'll let you know about any changes in the flavor profile, the strength, all those other things, and we will decide then whether I think it is nub-worthy or not. And the draw on this is doing very well. It is not tight, it is not loose, it is exactly where I like it, so it is doing very well in many different areas of my cigar experience so far. So here's to the final third. All right, let's wrap up this review. Let me show you the burn here at the end of the cigar. You can see right there, pretty much straight. That last little bit of ash just hasn't been tapped off yet. All right, flavor notes in the final third. They stayed really, really good. The floral note did come back down and get a little more subtle and fell to the background quite a bit. That nuttiness, that creamy nuttiness is absolutely still there in the final third. And then a little bit of white pepper came in at the beginning of the final third and stayed for about half to 2/3 of it. Was really nice as a little accent to the creaminess and everything. Really complemented the flavor notes very, very well. So, do I think this is a nub-worthy cigar? Well, there's the nub on the cigar. So I'm going to say this is absolutely a nub-worthy cigar. For those that don't know, the Topes Vitola for the Mil Días is the first new Vitola that is going to be regular production in, I believe, 3 or 4 releases. So they've got the original Vitolas that they released it with, and then now they have the Topes as one of the standard production releases. Some of the other ones that they did, the Moreva is one of them. Some of the other ones that they did the last couple years were all just for that specific year. They weren't long-term and going to be staying as everyday production Vitolas. This is staying, and I'm glad it is because it is very, very good. If you enjoy the Mil Días line, I know there are some people that just don't care for it at all, but if you enjoy the Mil Días line, you have got to check out this Topes Vitola and see for yourself whether or not you think it is as good as the other ones. If you've had the new Topes, they're actually shipping out now. We're in August, and they're supposed to be shipping out during this month, so they should be hitting your brick and mortars any day now if they haven't already. My recommendation, go and check it out and see for yourself. And if you do check it out, when you check it out, come back and put some comments. What did you get from it? Did you get similar flavor notes that I did? Did you have a different experience? Where would you put this in terms of, you know, the Vitolas that are already out there as their regular production line? Where would you put this in that in terms of liking it the most? So, very good cigar. I highly recommend it. Go and check it out for yourself and leave some comments when you do. But that's going to do it for this edition of Tobacco Talk. Oh, and the strength on this, I would say this ended as a good solid medium strength. Didn't ramp up, didn't get full, nothing like that whatsoever. Draw did loosen up a little bit in the final third. It wasn't super airy, but it did loosen up, and everything else performed very well. So that's going to do it for this edition of Tobacco Talk. Enjoy your cigar journey, everybody. I'm Cigar Show Tim. As always, I'll see you.